wanted? Why are they here?
You still don't get it, do you, boy?
They have recruited the rich and the powerful.
They're running the whole show.
Wake up! They're all about you, all around you.
One love, one heart. Say let's get together and I will feel alright. Yeah, say one love, oh yeah, one heart. I give thanks and praise to the Lord and I will feel alright. Saying now let's get together and I'm gonna feel alright. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let them all pass, so their dirty remarks. Yeah. There is one question I'd really love to ask. Yeah. Is there a place for the hopeless sinner who has hurt some mankind, just to say his unbelieving, singing Lord, one love, yeah, yeah, one heart. Let's get together and I'm gonna feel alright. Hear the children crying, hear the children crying. I give thanks and praise to the Lord and I will feel alright. Come on, say let's get together and I feel alright. So let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. So when the man comes, there will be no wrongdoing, no. Have pity on those whose chances grow thinner. There ain't no hiding place from the fire of creation, singing love, one love, one heart. Say let's get together and I'll feel alright. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. Alright, alright, I'll feel alright. Singing love, one love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Whoa, whoa, whoa. One love, ooh, one heart. I give thanks and praise to the Lord and I'm feeling alright. Still so, ooh, yeah, yeah. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. See the do, da, da, yeah, yeah. Oh, whoa, whoa, da, 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 ooh, da, 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 yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Singing now, alright. Feel alright, come on. Jah knows no matter. He knows when to cry and play. And the world is hurting on, even when it seems so dark and blue. Jah knows the best for you. And you will hold tight all through the night in his one love. One love is one love.
Got one that can see.
Well, well, well. We are back again. We should be. Yeah, I'm definitely here, but we should be live. If I've managed to do it correctly, we should be cooking by gas, as some might say, right? That would be not carbon efficient today. You can't say cooking by gas anymore. It's racist, right? Let's go with that. It's racist. So, yeah. Tonight we're going to be... what I've done tonight is basically combined a watch along with a movie review. So I don't know if it's ever been done like that before. This is history in the making, people. We have combined. We've took one idea, another idea, and joined the two together to create what is called a watch along review, right? So it's 2 in 1. What we're doing is we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, right? But not in a physical sense. I'm a good I love my wildlife and birds. A great fan of birds. Do you know what birds I love watching just now? A bit of a segue from anything whatsoever, but the swallows that are here, I think they're amazing, man. Honestly, the miles they travel is just astonishing. And where I'm at, I'm quite lucky. I see them every day. Sometimes I'll see them in, what would it be called, a flock? I was going to say a swarm, but I think it would be more of a flock. And they're just honestly amazing. And I watch them with the binoculars and it's just wow. They're so agile in the air. And I just watch them. They fly above basically my back garden, catching wee butterflies and moths and God only knows what else. But above that, a lot of the time I'll see buzzards, kestrels as well. Because basically where I'm at, it's kind of in the countryside, but on the outskirts of the main city, if we can call it a city, right? So we're back again. Let me think. I'm back again before we get going. When was I last on? It's been a while. I think it might have been a while ago now. Excuse me, possibly 2 weeks ago. People would have been, he's been whacked. Where's he gone? They took him out, right? But I'm still here, thankfully. Touch wood, hanging in by the teeniest of threads, a ball hair, as we say in Scotland. But hey, that's life, but not as we know it, right? So I'm still here, I'm still going. I've not been arrested for hate crime, hate speech, armchair rioter, armchair activist, whatever you want to call it. I'm laughing, but hey, that's the world we're in today. Constantly the past week. Did you see the news? Someone got jailed for a tweet and they got like 15 month, 16 month in prison. No early release, nothing whatsoever. And yet, that's for basically sharing a post. Then you get people who commit real crimes that do genuinely harm people and they get next to nothing basically. So we're in a complete and utter tyranny. I mean, I don't know how many years now I've been saying that. We've all been saying that here. We live in a tyranny. We live in George Orwell, well, Eric Blair's 1984 on steroids. How many times, man, have we said it? Probably into the thousands now. I shouldn't laugh, but I mean, yeah, people are noticing more and more. What chance do we have? I don't know, to be honest. I think people have got to do what they feel is right by them and by their community. So whatever that is, only you're gonna know. And I think a lot of people will begin to realise, they'll begin to, if you like, waking up to the world that we're in and think, bloody hell, wait a minute. And I mean, it's not. I'm gonna sound a bit like a party pooper. He's killing the party. But hey, we can fight back, and I think that's the right thing to do. And by that I don't necessarily mean in a violent way. There's many ways you can skin a cat. You've got to think outside the box. And you know what? We might never win. We may never win. But you've still got to do what's right. You've got to. And for me personally, I will not be letting these people get away. I simply will not be, man. It's not going to happen, not on my watch. So we do what we feel is correct. If we can unite in a certain way, then good. But you've got to work in your own community. You've got to bring it together, mobilise, educate, take it from there. Of course, I've genuinely got to watch what I'm saying now. If we right now were having a private conversation, that would be a bit different. I could be a bit more open and say, look, I've got an idea actually. If we do this and we do that and we do this, we can get the ball rolling, if you like. But on here, it's I think now it's a bit dangerous, to be honest. But hey, to be fair, I've said a lot of stuff that probably would get me put into the cell block H, Guantanamo Bay for the next 10 years probably. So I don't know, maybe one day they will, and I'll get the knock at the door. We've seen what you said on YouTube. Get in the van, right? Fuck it. And if that's the case, so be it. I genuinely don't fear it. I don't fear the police. I pretty much hate them, to be honest. I have since a very young age. So they don't fear me. Prison it out. But you've got to, I think it'll come to a point eventually, and we're basically getting there already. It's kind of coming to a point where everybody, have we lost audio? I think we had a Wi-Fi issue. Man, just as I was getting to the important bit, I think the Wi-Fi dropped. Typical that, right? Yeah. Basically what I was saying was, I don't know where it cut off or stopped. But basically I'm saying, look, it's going to come to a point for everyone. You're going to have to make a choice eventually. And hey, the choice is yours. Don't be pushed into anything by anybody. Do what you've got to do. Look after yourself first and foremost. And if you've got the ability, look after your loved ones, your friends, your community if you can. If you can get to that point where you do want to, got to watch what I'm saying. If you do want to be creative in pushing back, let's say, then yeah, get your community together, your close friends, your family, only people you trust, only people you know you can trust. Nobody else. Then in that small group or big group, whatever it's going to be, you think about ideas, you think about how to move forward, you think about how to put a dent in the current structure that we've got. Mobilise, activate, and educate as well. It's a tough ask. I mean, I understand. And like I said earlier on, it might, at the end of the day, it might not work, but you do what you feel is right and you can't go wrong. And I've always said that. And we'll probably discuss that a bit more on tomorrow. Right, so currently we'll be back tomorrow for, I think it would be the Friday fix, seeing as it's going to be Friday, seemingly. Is it? Yeah, had to think there. I was kind of second guessing myself. Definitely Friday tomorrow. So we'll have the return of the Friday fix. And then on Saturday, I'll be live with Matthew from Math Easy Solutions. And it's going to be all things 9/11. Dun, dun, dun. So it's one, hey, Matthew's a great guy. I've been on his channel before. He was very kind to invite me on. And we done a kind of deep dive into, well, lots of stuff actually. It was great. So I'm going to, I guess, return the favour and get Matthew back on. And I think a lot of people already know of Matthew. I've shared his streams before. So I think, but some people might not. So you'll get to meet a new face. And in terms of research, Norman's great, but Matthew's great as well. So I think people are going to enjoy it. So basically, I'm going to be here Friday, Saturday. So tomorrow about 7 p.m. UK time, whatever that is, God only knows. And then Saturday, 9 p.m. UK time, shock horror. And then on Sunday, it's not confirmed yet, but I think Sensum will do a live stream, and I should be back on there because I missed last week. Don't ask why. Don't ask, right? Under the weather, let's go with that. So I was under the weather. So basically tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and then maybe even Monday. Get 'em off! I know, right? You'll be overdosed on Talbanoki. But it's good because I feel like I've had a bit of a break anyway. I couldn't do last Friday. I couldn't make it on the weekend. So I've had a bit of a break away, which is good. It's gave me time to recharge, right? So we're back with a vengeance tonight. And I did put the link for the movie. Did I? Let me see. Let's see. Hopefully we can get an audio check as well. It might be a bit rusty. I might have to blow the cobwebs off it, right? Yeah, I did put it in, so it should be pinned. I don't know if people are on X. I doubt you'll be able to watch along, but see, watch along is difficult as well. A lot of people, they'll just watch it in the background. Then you don't see it. You kind of hear it, but you don't see anything. But for me, I need it to be a wee bit better. You know how we like to push the boundaries at anything Talbanoki related, right? So I'll quickly say hello. I'm trying to watch my time. Henry in the hood, good to see you, Henry. The beautiful Justine back again. Hope you're doing well, Justine. Good to see you. Carol's here, fantastic. Good to see you, Carol. Rotary motion over on Planet X. Let's call it that. Some people still say, "Oh, X, formerly Twitter." Yeah, I think we know by now. Do we need people? Oh yeah, how long are people going to say that for? Forever? I don't know, right? But I find it quite funny. It's kind of like, when do you stop saying Merry Christmas during that Christmas period, or Happy New Year? When do you stop saying Happy New? I don't know. January sometime, right? Whenever suits you, I guess. So Rotary Motion in the hood. Jack Russell, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Where did he go? Why is that not working? There we go. I hope you're doing well, mate. Justine. Dangleberries in the hood. Hanging in there, I guess. Anybody else? Oh, Clan Gun. Fantastic. I noticed he put a They Live quote as well, which is, it's an interesting one, that one. What does it go again? Oh, brother, life's a bitch and she's back in heat. But I for a long time I thought it said, brother, life is a bitch and it's packing heat. So that's one we're going to need to get confirmed. Is it Parkin Heat or Barkin Heat? Does anybody know? Maybe we can double check tonight. So good to see you. I hope you're doing fine. Bill's here as well. Good to see you, Bill in the hood. Bill, Henry, Clangan, Justine, Patient Unknown, an escapee. He's an escapee. He's got the Mpox, right? Shh, watch what you're saying. You'll get shut down. A lot of people have been saying, oh, they're going to do it again. They're going to pull another 2020 scenario. I don't know. Can't see it, to be honest. I could be wrong, like. Been wrong before. Have I? Seemingly, right? So, I just can't see it, to be honest. But I can't see it being this year. I've seen a lot of people talking about, oh, there's going to be a lockdown. I've not seen enough yet to think that we will be back in that position this year. But to be honest, I wouldn't rule anything out. Oh, Jacqueline as well. Good to see you, Jacqueline. Patient Unknown. David's here. Fantastic. Good to see you, David. Anybody that I missed quickly? Jacqueline. Paul from Newcastle. Why I, man? Why I, like? That's my Geordie accent. Hey, don't shoot me, right? And it's not racist, right? Seemingly. But it probably is now. Yeah, I love my birds, most definitely. The ones that can fly, right? Let's say that. Paul from Newcastle. Oh, Norman's in the hood. Good to see you, Norman. Great stuff. A bonus fix. Yeah, maybe. I think tomorrow... I'm going to try and make it 2 hours, the show. But every time I do that, it's like free. It's 2.5 for free, so... Hey, I can only try my best. I can only work with the tools that I've got. Carl's calling me a mutant. We're muted. We're not muted. We were muted before. So I think maybe... Oh, Jerry as well. Our Irish brother, Jerry in the hood. Where did he go? There he goes. Jerry. Jerry's a great guy. I have a lot of time for Jerry. Anybody did see... I'm gonna take Justine's word for it. The audio is good, right? So I know who to blame. Jacqueline, Henry, Justine, Clangan, Budgie. Is Budgie Burger here? Did I miss Budgie? Ah, there he goes. I did. I call it Twix. What, the Friday Twix? It's not that. Hey, you can't be doing that, right? You can't be doing that. But seeing as it's Budgie Burger, we might let him off. I'm saying him. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know what gender the Budgie is, but hey, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. So we're back again. We're pretty much good to go, I think. So I did pin the description, but the movie in the comments. But after it, I thought, well, how can they watch me and the movie? Man. So I thought, yeah, right enough, actually. They can't do that. So I don't know, right? You're going to have to work it out yourself. But yeah, I'm going to add it in the background. I kind of done a dummy run without me talking nonsense. So basically what I'll be doing is, well, what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to have it kind of in the background here, but I can't show the full screen due to copyright. And I can't play the audio, but you might still hear it via the screen that I'm watching it. But that also might mean that we get pulled on copyright. So I don't know. It's one of these things where I just don't know. I mean, when I done the dummy run, it seemed to be alright. It didn't get pulled. it only got pulled on copyright a good bit after the stream finished. But tonight that was unlisted. Tonight we're doing it live. They Live, right? Wait, is it called They Live? I think it's called They Live. They live, right? We don't, seemingly. So I don't know. It's something a wee bit different, something a wee bit new, something a wee bit Talbanocky. And of course, basically, I'll give my thoughts on the movie. I've got a wee bit of info that I can share in regards to it. Oh, and also next week we're doing a movie quiz, so get your thinking caps on. And I think the week after that, depending if anybody shows up, I think we might do a quiz focused on the movie They Live. So you want to be looking out tonight, right? You want to be listening to what I've got to say. So yeah, I mean, it's a great film. I think a lot of people have seen it now. It probably gets bigger every year. And I've been pulled on copyright with They Live clips before. But there was one where I got pulled on copyright, and then I'm forgetting the name of the production company that owns it now. I might remember, but I sent them an appeal and said, look, hey, it's me, it's William. Drop it, right? Get it dropped. So, now I was pretty kind in what I said, and on that particular video, I had the linked in where you could buy the film and all that kind of information. But I still thought it would have failed its appeal, but it didn't. It won. So I was quite chuffed. I think they thought, yeah, he's a good guy. We're going to let him have it, right? And it's had quite a lot of views, to be fair, for my channel anyway. So that was quite good of them to do that. Oh, what's it called? Is it? Oh, I can't remember. Maybe I'll look it up in real time. But yeah, I mean, it's every year now. More and more people, even especially since 2020, more people, oh, you need to watch that film, They Live. Yikes. And many folk have said, oh, it's not a film, it's a documentary. So it's not even a movie, right? It's a documentary. And every year, I think more and more people are like, bloody hell. How did they get it so right? There's a question, right? So what we'll do is we'll play the video in the background. And I think that, I mean, it's not the same as watching it. Don't get me wrong, but it gives you an idea. There was an option to kind of put different slides, maybe a clip or two, and I thought, nah, fuck, I can't multitask. I'm a straight white Scottish male. I can't multitask, man. I'm going to be struggling as it is. 2 screens, the microphone, the comments, life itself. So, hey, I can only try my best, right? So let me see this quickly. That's basically the theme tune to They Live. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. For the past few days, that sort of part of the music's been in my head. It's been the theme tune to my life for the past few days, right? So, and I watched it yesterday, and my wife said, "Fucking hell, you watching that again?" It's like, wow. Yep, we're watching it again. So, hey, what can I say? What other film did... Oh, Police Academy 2. Honest to God. Do you know, Police Academy 1 is funny. And it's a great film, actually, in my view. But number 2, I reckon I laugh at that more than the first Police Academy. The second one is hilarious, man. I honestly laugh out loud at it. Number one, I did laugh quite a bit, but not as much as number two. So maybe that's just me, to be honest. I'm seeing we might have a Wi-Fi issue. I think we're okay. I think we might be alright. Just making sure we're good to go. Dun, dun, dun. We are on Twitter and we are on YouTube, right? And I did say before as well, you can watch it in, 1080? But I only found out a couple of days ago, you can only watch it in 1080 if you've got YouTube Premium. So it's only if you're in the VIP league. And I think even with that, StreamYard, the one that I've got is only, 720? I can't even remember now. It's HD. It's meant to be in HD. So if it's completely blur and you're looking through a piece of glass, you might want to go to the settings because it could be on 360. Excuse me. So you might want to change it to, is it 720 or 710? Hey, take your pick, right? Take your pick. So let me just double check. I think we're good to go. So I need to make sure we're off with the volume here, because that might get us pulled. We'll put it there. And then, what did I do there? Is it playing? So basically, copyright. Why is it not working? There we go. So it gives you an idea. Is it synced up with mine? Probably not. It's probably not. I think it might be actually. Yeah, I think we could be good. It might only be a second or two behind, but does anybody know straight off the bat what year the film came out? 1920! Not quite. Does anybody know what it was based on originally? Nobody? I didn't think so. I have watched it the other day. I thought, do you know what? Especially maybe the first hour or maybe 40 minutes of the film. It's a bit like an awakening process that me and you would go through. It's very similar in terms of where he's going in life. He gets this kind of curiosity and begins to think, wait a minute, something's not right here. What's going on? He's a bit curious. He wants to know more. And then it all begins from there. Basically his, if you like, awakening. And Paul knows the score. A short story comic. Which is, I think there's kind of two short stories, I think it was based on. Well, the first one, I think it was called, I did have it written down actually. A short story called 8 o'clock in the morning. And from 8 o'clock in the morning, there was also a comic called Nada, Nada, which was based on that short story too, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I've not read it, but it looks quite interesting. You know, the interesting thing about the short story is it's not got the sunglasses in it, so it's not. Oh, he puts on the glasses and he can see. He goes to a hypnotist and he gets hypnotized. So the guy gets hypnotized in the short story, and then he starts seeing stuff differently and subliminal messages. But he's only got until 8 o'clock in the morning until it's gone, and he's back to being under the spell of the masters, if you like. So I thought that was quite interesting how they used hypnosis, because it kind of points to hypnosis in this film itself, that we're all under a spell, if you like. It's black magic, right? So now he's looking for a job. Do you remember that actor, the lady in the job centre? I'm sure it's her. But Roddy Piper himself, he was basically quoted as Sprinter himself, called it a documentary. We're on to the blind preach. He's one of my favourite. He might be my favourite, actually. It should be back on. It's picking the right time to mess about. When I looked up on sort of getting an idea of reviewing and stuff like that, it did say be sure to prepare for any issues. And I thought, well, if there's issues, there's not much I can do about that. Prepare for it. I don't know how I could do that. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. Now he's looking for a job. Just a lonely drifter, drifting through America. So he's a bit like a drifter, a homeless guy. No family, no home, no job, no hope. But America, the land of hope and glory. Anybody can make it. So he's chasing the American dream. And now he's shoveling concrete or dirt, basically. They're all chasing the American dream. I don't know why it's being a pain in the backside. Let me see. For some reason... Oh, there we go. I'm trying to sync it up. Your screen is covering it, yeah. There is a reason for that. You're only going to see a percentage of the screen of the actual movie. Because if I show the whole thing, the stream will get stopped. And then it'll just... It won't get pulled, but it won't show up. So that's basically why I said people who usually do reviews, you don't see any of the movie unless it's a pre-recorded short version of a review. So a watch along, you would be just looking at the person who's watching, but not the movie. But that's not good enough for me. So I wanted to show at least a portion of the film and where I'm at and what I'm trying to talk about. So maybe I never explained it. Maybe I never explained it quite well, shock horror. Get 'em off! So basically what I've done is I've made it so you can see a portion of the screen. But that's it. I can't show any more than what's there currently. But I did link it in. So if you've got two devices, I mean most people have today, you could hook it up on the laptop or, I don't know, tablet or your mobile phone and watch it on the laptop. But I can't really show any more than what I'm showing. It was only to give you an idea where I'm at with the movie rather than just me and you seeing absolutely nothing whatsoever. But maybe it was the wrong idea, I don't know. So he's met his wee pal at his work. So he's kind of landed on his feet, walked into town, gets a job, blagged a job basically, finds a friend, follows him home, and gets a place to stay, gets his dinner for the night. Now they're talking about how the world's done them over. Them bastards! They've done us over. The golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rules. I think that might be the second best quote in the film. He who has the gold makes the rules. Of course, the number one quote, I think... So they're all chasing the American dream. Let me see if I can sync it up again. I always wanted to know if Roddy Piper actually played the harmonica in that scene. There's a scene, it'll be coming up for yous. I'll try and sync it. But all the interviews that I've watched, no one's asked him, oh, did you actually play the harmonica? Or did someone else play it and you just pretended? Maybe he's just pretending, right? Now, it's quite interesting because What would you describe this site? It's like a campsite, basically, for homeless people. Then you get the first kind of interference via the television. But this is the good guys, right? They're trying to get their message on TV. Something I noticed as well, the TV is in it quite a lot. And at one scene, there's a guy just staring at the telly, like an empty... He's empty. There's nothing behind the eyes, just staring at the telly. Hypnotised, under a spell. And of course, it all begins to make sense as it goes on. So I think at this point he's beginning to think, wait a minute, what is this guy trying to say? Because it was kind of broken up. A bit like my Wi-Fi. And he sees the blind preacher again, who's kind of mimicking word for word what's being said on the message on the television. So now he's beginning to think, wait a minute, something is not right. Do you know John Carpenter would play cameos in a lot of movies that he done? Does anyone know the kind of cameo role that he had in this film? I never knew, to be honest. I never knew. I thought he did play a role. He does, but you don't see him. So that might give you an idea. This is him starting to think, wait a minute. Something's not right here. So at that kind of point, you could think, right, leave it. Oh, I'm going to walk away. Or your curiosity can get the better of you. Did that not kill something? Well, hey, cats have got 9 lives, right? So he's beginning to think, wait a minute. It's not quite as it seems. What's going on? Who are these people? What are they doing in the weird church building? I'm going to try and sync it up again. So yeah, I don't know what you would call it. It's like a refugee camp, basically. Which is kind of fitting as well. So now he's heading back out, but he's going to have a word with the guy. There he goes. So he's basically saying, "Oh, what were you doing? Oh, there's a lot of people to feed." And he's like, "What, at 4 o'clock in the morning?" Yeah, there's a lot of people here though, right? So now he's definitely beginning to think, what's going on? You've got the TV situation. You've got these people acting strangely. You've got the mad preacher guy. Yeah, it's a bit like a homeless camp. Justine.
Somebody please explain to me what the hell that's all about. Is that idiot living in Nazi shit?
So now his curiosity is starting to get the better of him now. I think he's putting 2 and 2 together. He's seeing these guys look like they're up to something. It seems to be connected to these messages on the TV. And now he's plucked up the courage to think, right, hey, I'm going to go in there, see what's going on. A bit like for many people here, you get a bit curious. You see things that make you think, wait a minute, that's not right. Then eventually, if you're curious enough, if you're, dare I say, brave enough, you'll go further than just, it'll be nothing. You'll do your own digging. You'll think, right, I'm going for it. I need to go and see what's going on here. I need to know what's really happening. So that's kind of the stage he's at now. He's thinking, right, I need to go and see. Is it really just a church where there's nothing to worry about? Or is it connected to these messages that are appearing on the television? They live, we sleep. And I'll try and turn it up a bit. I think that might be the third best quote in the film. Would you still call it a quote, even though it's painted on the wall? It's interesting how this, the bearded guy, do you not think he looks a bit like Alex Jones? If Alex Jones was to grow a beard now, and maybe some hair, I think he might look like this individual that was on the TV. So now he's definitely wondering what's going on. He's wanting to look a bit further into it, right? He's basically now entered this gigantic rabbit hole. Walk away! Don't do it, Nada. Don't do it, John. Now he knows something's not right. He's like, nah, something's not right here. So he knows now it's not your average church. If there is such a thing. If there is such a thing as an average church. Now he's bumped into the preacher. Neighborhood watch. You're working, man. See, I think he should have spent more time there talking to the guy. The world's blinded me, but the Lord has let me see. You'll be back. You'll be back, and sure as hell, yeah. He does come back. Now you've got the helicopter. Epidemic of violence. Some sort of cold, end of the world kind of stuff. Interesting that, right? Epidemic, cold, end of the world sort of stuff. So the helicopter's round checking it out. People going crazy over a dream. Sounds like me. So at the end of every century, it happens. That's what he said. And now he's got the binoculars. He's checking it out. Now he's definitely wondering what the hell's going on. Now his wee pal Frank is coming over. Hey, what you doing? But you see, Frank wants to keep himself to himself. He doesn't want to get in anybody's way. He's got a wife and kids at home who he's not seen. He's making a bit of money. He doesn't want to look any farther than what he's got to into anything. But John, he's a drifter. No friends and no family. Nothing to really care about. So he's more interested, he's more curious as to what's going on. Kind of like there's two kinds of people in life. There's the curious and the not curious. It's not that they're not curious, they just don't want to be, because it can be dangerous. It can lead you down a rabbit hole, basically. One you might never get out of, right? Ring any bells? Probably. You see, now the helicopter's back. And this is quite an interesting bit, because the kind of riot police, the bulldozers, the helicopters, the guns come out, the shields come out, and they demolish the camp, the homeless camp, the refugee camp. But in reality, they're not there for the camp. They're there to get the people in the church. So I kind of got the impression the only reason they're demolishing the camp is to kind of use it as a cover. Or they were clearing the homeless camp, the refugee camp. Well, yeah, but that's not why they were there. They're there to try and get these people in the church who can see reality for what it is. So the whole demolition of the camp is basically a cover story. They had no reason to do that. They could have just destroyed the church. And if they had any sense, they could have done it discreetly, undercover, instead of everybody running away. But the police don't hold back. Kind of like the UK just now. They do not hold back. I think even the blind preacher, you see him he gets beaten up quite bad. I mean, a blind guy beating him up with a truncheon. Would you call it a truncheon in America? A riot bat? I don't know. But then they're moving in with the riot police, moving in with the bulldozers, clearing the camp, which is to no avail because they come back. But again, it's only a cover. They're really there to get the people in the church because they know what's going on. Is it a police baton or a club? Okay, I'll take your word for it, Justine. I think we call it a truncheon here. I've never been hit with a truncheon, but I've been hit by a police officer a couple of times, actually. It's been a long time since I've had an altercation with the police, but in my teenage years, yeah, quite often. Not that I'm proud of it, but hey, it was a part of life then for me. And it's kind of run in my family, that as well. My dad's side, anyway. My dad used to get beaten up by the police every other day. In his young days. Similar to myself, but not as bad. I think it was in Glasgow, to be fair. Shut it down! Yeah, I'm just doing my job. But of course, these people Are they really people like us? Or are they completely different from us? Yeah, beating up the blind guy. Mind you, he has got a stick. He's got a stick and he's swinging it at them. But he gets spelt up. I mean, why would you have to beat up a blind guy? What sort of absolute pussy would you have to be? Oh, I had the baton. His bloody protective helmet, his shield and his baton. And he's beating up a guy that's blind. Oh, I might have to look at that, Carl. To be honest, I can see auroras quite well here. But it is interesting, you see it clearer through a camera than you do with the human eye. So the place is getting wiped out. They're getting to a hideout, safe place, right? Lay low for the night until it cools down. Do you know what's quite incredible? Is the movie, it didn't cost any more than $3 million to make. 3 million? I mean, imagine today trying to make a movie for that kind of money. And to be honest, I was quite shocked. I mean, 3 million? What a job they done for a movie that only cost 3 million. Somebody start World War III. And I think at this point now, he's definitely realising something's not right here. Why have they done this? What do these people know? Now he's definitely curious. He wants to know more. He wants to know what's going on. So when dawn comes, he's gonna find out more. Yeah, 3 million? I was quite shocked. $3 million. I mean, how much did the actors get paid? A couple of cents, maybe? But although it only cost 3 million, when it came out in the box office for the weekend, it came out, it made 4.8 million. So it was in profit straight away. And it went to number 1. And like David, is it David or Keith David said in a interview that he's done, it went to number 1 for 2 weeks, then it was gone. And he said he phoned up, what's going on? And they said, well, hey, it pissed somebody off. Somebody was not happy. So who that somebody is, I think people can probably work out. It could be a number of folk, but I think certain people in particular. Yeah, 3 million in what? 1980, 88, 89 it came out. So not that long ago, really. In today's money, what would that be? I don't know, 9 million? Let's say 10, maybe, at a push. Still not a lot of money for a movie to be made. So it started making money straight away. It went to number 1, then it basically got put underground. It went underground. And I think that's what made it create, or it kind of created this whole cult behind it. They call it a cult, but I'm not sure that's the right word for it. If it is, then I might be in it. I'm in a cult now. I better tell the wife I've joined a cult. What is it? Oh, they live. So it grew this gigantic kind of following because it went underground. People couldn't get it. It pissed somebody off, and that's in the words of David Keith himself. Is it David Keith? Sorry, yeah, Keith David. You always get it mixed up. I don't know why that is. It's the same with the geoengineering dude. Now he's found the box of glasses and he's like, is that it? Is that why have they got sunglasses? Surely that can't be it. So he's way down the rabbit hole now, looking for the answers, wondering what's going on. So he's found, and he's hid it as well, and he's kept up here. And now he's on a walk. What he's seen, and wondering what it's all about. Now he's putting them on. And now he's... Why am I seeing stuff differently now? So he puts them on again. And then he sees the big obey sign, which is an advertisement sign to the normal human eye. Not with the glasses on though. So I think at this point, he's got so far down his rabbit hole, his research, the veil is being dropped basically. And he's beginning to see it for what it is. And many people say, look, once you put them glasses on, they don't come off. You'll continue to see it for what it is. Let me see if I can bring this closer. So it's all being revealed, basically. And now he's really beginning to wonder, what the heck? Obey. Stay asleep. Obey. Do not question authority. Watch TV. No imagination. Of course, they don't want that, right? Seemingly some of the... I don't think I've noticed it myself, but seemingly some of the subliminal messaging in it spelled some words, and they done that deliberately to make it like, well, the aliens are not proper humans. We'll call them aliens for the time being. And now he sees them. He sees one anyway, and he's... You got a problem? So now he's really down the rabbit hole. And he's wondering, what the heck? Who are these people? What are these entities? Why do they look like zombies, basically? So now he's basically seen that much now. He's kind of in a state of shock. A state of shock. A state of... Fucking hell, what the hell's going on? I think that feeling... I think a lot of people here might know that feeling, right? Where you get to a point where you're like... in shock. But of course, you get beyond that as well. You become numb to it, then nothing shocks you, to be honest. It's like, well, you kind sleep, sleep, sleep. And seemingly, that's John Carpenter, who done the voiceover. So that's his cameo role in this movie. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. That's the cameo role that John played. So you begin to notice as well, these so-called entities that he sees, they're always kind of high paid people in a good job. And I mean, in this world that we're in, if you're a bit mental, if you're a bit psychotic, if you are willing to stab colleagues, you'll make it. You'll make it to the top. Especially in politics. So I mean, are these people completely different from the people that we might be? Whereas we don't want to stab anyone in the back. We don't want to rat on people or do whatever it takes to get to the top of the food chain. A lot of us, we just want a good life where we can be content rather than, oh, I could be a millionaire. So now he's kind of grown past the shock now. And he's at a point where he's like, I see what we've got here. And he begins to, kind of the beginning of speaking out. He bumps into this old hag and has a go at her. Call the cops. Do you know what you need? A Brazilian plastic surgeon. I thought that was quite fun. And now he knows he's basically been called out. So she went on her walkie-talkie watch and said, "We've got one that can see." So now he's at a point where, because he's begun to speak out, he's going to be a target. He's beginning to step on the toes of the powers that be. And of course they can't have that, can they? And now he's going to bump into the police. They've already they've clamped down on him straight away. Straight away. He must be right wing. He's one of them right wingers. So there you go. Does anybody know what this police officer's name is? He's actually he's been involved with a lot of films. I think Jurassic Park, 2 Jurassic Parks, Predator, and a great film called Falling Down. Which is, if you've not seen Falling Down with Michael Douglas, definitely check it out. But his name's Norman Howell. And he's seemingly quite good in terms of stunt stunt arcs and stuff like that, fight scenes. So now he's right in amongst it. He's taken out the police now. He's begun to realise, look, these are not normal people. They're not like me and you. Yeah, I've always wanted to get a pair as well. Do you know you can't buy them? That's another thing. I mean, it only made 4.8 million. But overall, it's probably made, in my own view, it's probably made hundreds of millions of pounds. Hundreds of millions. Because, of course, you had the cinema release, the VHS onto DVD. I mean, it does not go away. VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, the streaming, the video games, the magazines, the merchandise, year in, year out. And I've seen an estimate of 40 to 50 million, and it said it could be a lot more. I think it will be a lot more. I think you're talking hundreds of millions if you was to put it all together. And it'll never stop. This film, it's going to outlive everybody, basically. It's going to outlive us all, right? Another great quote. Mama don't like telltales. And now this is where he sees the guy disappear. I think it's a part of the film where they're pointing to technology that we don't know about. Only certain elites, certain entities, they know about it. They can use it, but it's not known to us. We don't know what it is, we don't know how it works, and we can't use it. Then you've got the drone as well. A surveillance drone. It was kind of ahead of its time. I mean, it came out in the late 80s, but it's pretty much not word for word, but it is. A lot of it is based on the original short story, 8 o'clock in the morning, which was written by a guy called Ray Nelson, and he wrote that in 1963. 1963? Which is quite astonishing. I think the guy Ray Nelson might be worth a look into. So you've got the drone technology, you've got the weird, what would you call it, teleporting technology. Let me just sync it a bit. So now he's trying to get away. This is where he bumps into a certain red-headed female. Yeah, you can watch it. I've linked it in. It's pinned to the top of the comments if you want to watch it. In all its glory. Do we know what this female, her name is? In the film, in real life as well. Yeah, quite incredible, the short story, 1963. Because I thought it might have been the 1980s, but 63, man. And some people think, wow, it's amazing that came out in the 80s, the late 80s. Yeah, well, it was based on a story that came out in the 60s. Subliminal messaging. Quite incredible. So, quite a well-known actor. Holly Thompson, whose real name would have been Meg Foster. And she's in it. It's hard to talk about her without giving the like a spoiler alert. To be honest, because you'll know what she does in the end. But she played a great role. Yeah, she's a good actor. He's quite a well-known guy as well, the neighbour. That guy. I think his name is Larry Franco. And he's been involved with quite a number of movies, quite big ones as well. One that I've seen not that long ago, we done a review on it, the movie called Christine, about a car. A car that's got a mind of its own. This creepy, spooky car. It's Christine, it's called. I think another one, Mars Attacks as well. I can't remember him from Mars Attacks though. It must have been a short scene or an extra. I think Mars Attacks, Christine, and another good film, Escape from New York. I couldn't get through Christine. Well, I had no choice. I had no choice because I had to review it. I thought it wasn't bad, to be honest. I think I rated it about 5 out of 10. We gotta stop him! I went a wee bit ahead. Why is that? It must be lagging on the screen. So now he's at a point where he's getting angry. He's like, look, we need to do something about this now. I don't know who they are, I don't know what they're doing, but we've got to stop them. See, and she comes across like she doesn't know what's going on, and he's like, take a look. But I mean, is she one of them? She doesn't appear as a zombie alien entity through the glasses, but you kind of get the feeling she works for the TV. She seems a bit suspicious. Could she be one of them? Could she be... Is she basically an enabler, but she's not psychotic? Yeah, Christine wasn't that great, to be fair, Justine. I probably wouldn't watch it again. But I managed to get through it just. There was a movie I watched the other day that I couldn't get through. I'm going to have to go back to it. It was called Fall Guy. About a stuntman, actually. It came out recently. A useful idiot, yeah, that's the kind of feeling I got. Because she doesn't appear to be one of these entities, but she works for the TV station, and she acts very, I don't know, suspicious. See, now he thinks he's alright. Oh, I've made a friend, even though he's got the gun. He's got the gun and got her hostage, but he's like, look, let's come together here. It's a pretty name. This movie is based on a true story. Yeah, you could say that again. Now he thinks he's got in. Oh, maybe not. So she tells him, yeah, work for the TV station. Oh, that's where the signal's coming from. Maybe we can work together here. But she's got other ideas, of course. As she puts the bottle over his head. Poof. And he's away down the hill. See, at this point you think, well, is she one of them? She goes straight on the phone and is like, no, I'm alright. So who was she talking to? Was it the police that she phoned? Now he's back on the run. Can't trust anyone, right? A bit like our world, to an extent. Only trust the people you know. That would be my advice. Especially today. And especially if you're going to be getting involved in any kind of movement or group, community. That's why my advice is work with what you know. Keep it local. You know who you can trust then. Well, at least you should. Be sure you know them, yeah. I'd agree with that. Yeah, I've been let down by people in the past I thought I knew. Kind of, yeah, that's life, but not as we know it, I guess. He said the name! But you've got to be careful. Especially today in the UK. In particular, if you are planning on being active in fighting against the tyranny, you've really got to watch now. Don't say much about it online. Only speak to people that you know. People you can trust. If you're speaking about ideas or ways in which you could potentially fight back to an extent. And by that I don't mean violence. Violence would be it's like a last resort in my view. If it comes down to that, we're all out of options. So here's Frank. He's away to see Frank the tank. A rough couple of days. How many people did you kill? They're not people. See, he's got a wife and kids. He doesn't want to fight back. And now he's on the TV. He's on the news. They're wanted, dead or alive. He's been putting tweets on X. Now he's back looking for the glasses, but the bin men have been. What do you call the bin men where you are? We used to call them scaffies. I remember when I was growing up in the 90s. Not so long ago. Feels like a fucking lifetime ago now. Different world, man, then. But where I stayed, you never had like a plastic bin, or we call them wheelie bins. There was none of that. That wasn't until maybe 98, 99, 2000. We got wheelie bins and stuff like that here. Up until then, you would just put your bags in the street. You just put all your black bags, all your week's rubbish. But it would be picked up every week by the bin men, the scaffies. And I mean, I can remember throwing bags in the back, and the workmen just saying, "Yeah, on you go, throw it in." And it was like I don't know, man. It was safe, and it was like a community basically. People would speak to each other. It's not so much like that today. But now we've got the plastic wheelie bins. And do you know what, man? They only get picked up every 3 weeks now. 3 weeks, man. When you've got a family and a wife, it's like, fuck. Honestly, that is insane. It should be every week. See, now he's at a point where he's trying to wake someone else up. He's like, look, have a look at what I've seen. So you know when you're you're trying to show people, look. Look at the research I've done. Honestly, you need to see this. And people are like, nah, I'm not wanting to see it. I don't want to look at it. I don't believe it. I don't trust it. And you're like, just look, listen. Look, listen and think, right? To the point where you could be fighting somebody over it. This is what this basically is, a mirror of that in our lives. Where you're talking to someone until you're blue in the face, man. Showing them evidence after evidence, document after document, but they don't want to know. They do not want to know. To the point where you'd have to beat them up and physically drag them. Kind of reminds me of the saying, oh, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can lead a man to evidence, but you can't make him think. There's one. We've invented a quote. We've invented a quote tonight. You can lead a man to knowledge, but you can't make him think. That might be a better one. Someone's going to say it's already a quote. It better not be. I'm copywriting it. There, Jane in the Who. Good to see. Jane's a great person. There's not a lot of good people out there. There's plenty here, to be fair. People that genuinely care. Do you know this is one of the fight scenes that's been deemed the most iconic in the movie world? I think it goes on, and a lot of it is pretty much real, in the real sense of real. Yeah, Jane's great. It's good to see you, Jane. Yeah, we get the coloured bins as well, Jacqueline. I mean, it's... we've got the green one, a purple one, and a blue one. Then you've got a glass one as well. It's like, fucking hell, man. Honestly. Whereas back in the day, it would all be in the one bag. Just throw it out onto the street. So now they're proper at it now. Square goal. Beating each other up. But he's going to make them see in the end. He's going to make him see it how he sees it. And we've been at this point with people. Not to the point where we're knocking 7 bells out of each other. At this particular point in the fight, let me see. He smashes the car window. Where is it? I think it's coming up here. Let me pause that. So he smashed the window. Then Frank smashes a glass bottle, off the car. Why did that stop? Oh, it missed the bit I was wanting to point out. But basically, Frank smashed a bottle off the car. And he cut his hand to doing it. Which wasn't part of the scene. And John starts laughing. And he wasn't meant to laugh at it. But they kept it in anyway. So they done what they could to make it look, I guess, authentic. Now he's telling them where to go. Put them where the sun don't shine. I'm not putting them on. But it's not quite done yet. You get bin monitors. Yeah, we're talking about doing that here. People looking through your bin. Oh man. Honest to God. Have you got them? They were on about that here. Oh, they were going to check through your bin to make sure you're... It's like, fucking hell, man. Where's it going to stop? They're coming to check your urine next. Coming to check what your number 2s are like. We're just in to check your number 2s. See how you're getting on. I think the bin men should be saying, look, we're not doing it. They should be... I mean, they do go on strike in Scotland, which is not a good... It's not good for folk when they do. But it's like, where does it end, that, man? Completely insane. It is insane, Justine. So now he's put them on. He's freaking out. He's like, what the... Like, who are these people? What are they? And he spots one of the drones as well. Like, what the f*** is that? And that's where he says life's a bitch and she's back in heat. But I had thought it said pack in heat. But going by the subtitles, it said back in heat. So I think Clan Gun might have been right. And all my life I've been wrong. I'm questioning my whole life now. I question it all. I think either way it kind of made sense. So now he's got a buddy. And they can both see it for what it is. They've not had the same awakening process, but they're at basically the same level now. He's fast-tracked his mate. He's like, here, put them on. Look at it. Look at them, they're everywhere! So now he's kind of not got a choice. Do you know, like, again, just similar to once you see it, you can't unsee it. There's no going back. So they're 2 drifters now. 2 drifters on the run from the fought police. I was trying to think of anything that I would say was bad about the movie. It's a tough one. It's hard for me to criticize it, to be honest. If I was to criticize it, it might be, well, it could have been longer. Now he's going to warn him about keeping the glasses on for too long. Because it'll affect you in a bad way.
answer my fucking question. Well, when you get some kind of master plan, you let me know, huh?
You see, that's similar to what we've went through, a lot of us here. You'll bring someone to, you kind of wake them up and they'll be like, well, what the hell? Why have you not done anything? What are we going to do? And it's like, well, if you've got an idea, if you've got any ideas, let me know, right? So now they want to find more people who are a bit like them and know reality. The nature of reality. Now he goes on to talk about his childhood. And I think this scene kind of points out, I mean, the fact one's black and one's white points out that, hey, we're all under the tyrannical system, no matter who you are, or who you might think you are, race, creed, colour, whatever it may be. Not only that, it wouldn't matter what kind of upbringing you've had. You're still going to be under the boot of tyranny. Whether you've had a good upbringing, a bad upbringing, it'll get you in the end. Maybe they've always been with us, he said. And that made me think of is it Ronald Reagan? When he talks about an alien force, an alien entity that might already be among us. I ain't daddy's little boy anymore. See, John's hung his coat. He's like, look, if I can find these people, there's going to be hell to pay. He's now a hero, basically, for the people. But he doesn't want a following. He doesn't want any glory or raised up to a high level. He just wants to fight back. Because I think he knows it has to come from him as an individual. Collectively, even better. But first and foremost, it needs to come from him. He can't go looking for a hero. He needs to look in the mirror and see the real hero. Now he's going to take up. So now they're getting the armory, getting the weapons. Let me see. They're going to the meeting tonight. And this is where you see Holly Thompson again. See her again. But we do. The original Gaslight. I've not seen that, I don't think. Do I want to see it? Do I want to be gaslit? Yeah, I might have to check that out. They're using candy floss packages. I might have to check that out, Carol. Yeah, I'd agree with that, Jane, as well. I think that's why I tend to watch older movies most of the time. I do watch new movies. I'm not even really sure why, to be honest. A lot of them I don't like. but the older movies are more a go-to for a good watch. I don't know. Maybe there's like a safe feeling to that. Where's my pen? So here's the guy on the TV coming up. Original Gaslight. Na 1927, wow. I was talking to someone, and we were 1927. Let me write that down. We were talking about how gaslighting. It felt a bit like this thing came out of nowhere, and a lot of people were going about, oh, he's a gaslighter. That person's a gaslighter, and he's gaslighting, and I had the idea that if you wanted to make a clothing brand, you could call it the Gaslighter. And you would make a fortune, right? Hey, go for it, knock yourself out, take it. Just send me my cut, right, when you're a millionaire. The Gaslighter. And someone made a clothing company on the back of this with a subliminal messaging. And I think that guy's now a millionaire. Yeah, terraforming the atmosphere. Yeah, I mean, bloody hell. Where do you start with the weather manipulation, modification? What a show that is, man. So they're worried about the numbers. So they're never kind of saying, look, we're gonna win this, we're gonna get on top, but they're always saying, look, we need to fight back. Yeah, he does say that, B. Yep. It's said in the movie. There's Holly again. How does she know? Someone said that. How does she know? So again, that kind of think, wait a minute, is she one of them? Is she not one of them? How does she know so much? They're talking about different ways to get to them other than just simple violence. Similar to what sort of situation that we're in, we need to think outside the box rather than, I mean, even if someone had comment today on Facebook, oh, we've got guns. Yeah, they've got bigger guns. Guns won't be the answer to this, I don't think. We're not going to beat them at a gunfight. Then they get a bit close here, and it's like, right, get your coat, you've pulled, and then then there's the big explosion. Maybe not tonight. Yeah, the food as well. I mean, the water, the air, the food, the medication. We're under attack on so many different levels now. Quite astonishing. Bit better. It was kind of like your average gunfight. See, I mean, you could say these people had guns, but when the military come calling, there's no contest. Even Biden said, "Oh, yeah, they've got guns, but we've got F-16s." What you're gonna shoot an F-16 out the sky? Well, maybe you could, but I mean, where does it end in a gun battle? There's got to be other ways to get around it. Psychological pressure is one that people need to think about, in particular with the police and the military. There needs to be a psychological pressure put on them. These people can be turned. Guaranteed. The military can be turned. The police can be turned. They can be brought to... You can wake these people up, man. They're just like me and you to an extent. A lot of them, you've no chance. They're psycho. They do nothing but go out and want to beat people up. But some of them, a percentage of them are not like that. They're the people you can get to. And do you know what? We actually seen that. Remember when in Spain there was the big COVID marches and stuff like that? The police joined a lot of these protests. Even the fire brigade, they joined. And I think at one point the fire brigade, as you didn't laugh, but at one point the firemen were fighting the police, sticking up for the people. So, and I mean, what a victory that is. If you can get to these people with psychological pressure, they can join you. They can join us. You're kind of fighting fire with fire, but they'll see sense in the end. If they've got any sense, they will see it. And I mean, I'm the biggest hater of the police, to be honest. And with good reason as well. But when crunch comes to crunch, I know some of them would be on our side. Guaranteed. And you wouldn't have to get them all. You'd only have to get some. But they can be got to. I mean, they're a big letdown, but in the same breath, we can get to them. Psychological pressure has to be a tactic that can be used. I mean, people talking about guns. What, you're going to do? Shoot all the police? Shoot all the military? How long are you going to last with that? Fighting them on a psychological level? That might be different. And again, I've kind of got to watch. Because be getting a knock on the door. We heard what you said. You're not putting psychological pressure on me. To be honest, it might be a mistake them arresting me. Be getting the police to let me out. So now they're underground, deep into enemy territory. They've managed to get their way in. Alright, they were shooting, but they've kind of done it in a flyway as well. They had a watch that got them there. And of course they bump into a familiar face. And they've kind of got his trust. It's like they fell into a Bilderberg group meeting or a Bohemian Grove meeting. Underground terrorist network. That's what they're calling them too, basically. And they're the church goers. Sounds kind of familiar, right? The right-wing terrorist network in the UK. See, they know this guy from the camp, so he thinks they've joined up. Yeah, a lot of them do, Jack Clean, but not all of them do. Not all of them do. I mean, I know some police officers, they're not like that. And I know ones who are. They would beat you up without a bloody... They wouldn't even need a reason. But some of them are not. And again, we've seen it in Spain. It can be done. They can be got to. And I don't think that's something that should be easily dismissed, to be honest. Because we're not in a position to dismiss anything at this current time. When you think about it, you've got to exhaust every single avenue possible. And I mean exhaust it. So that would mean not giving up on them. And they can be turned, man. A lot of them are stupid. A lot of them are stupid. They can be got to, man. They can be got to. Psychological pressure can get them. And a lot of them already see it and probably want to be on the right side. It might only take one or two. And some might follow. I wouldn't give up on anything at this current moment in time, to be honest. And I think Spain shined a light on it, the possibility that it can be done. The police did join. I mean, even seeing the fire brigade join, I thought that was amazing. I thought we might have seen more of that in Australia, but I don't think it panned out. I mean, Australia got it bad, right? They love their paycheck and pension. Yeah, well, the way it's going, they might not have a country, never mind a paycheck and a pension. See, if we can get them to see through these sunglasses in this film, that might change. The attitude can change. And I think if you look at like maybe not the art of war, but the art of war and the steps that might need to be taken in terms of toppling, not a state, but a tyranny. There's a massive psychological aspect to that. Massive, man. You won't shoot your way out of it. You won't comply your way out of it. I think the first thing people should do is stop voting, man. Stop it. Honestly. Don't be doing it anymore. You need to make that step. People have got to make this step to say, look, I've drew a line in the sand now. I'm not sitting on the fence thinking that it could be changed. It won't be changed by voting. I don't know how anybody could think that today. This scene's great. There ain't no countries anymore. They're running the whole show. The whole planet. There ain't no countries anymore. See, the psychopaths love the money. Yeah, they'll do it to their own kind for a big paycheck. A lot of them. There ain't no countries anymore. I wonder if that got said in the original short. Oh, Ulick's in the hood. Good to see you, Ulick. In the original short story from the 60s. Wonder if that got mentioned then. And they're well and truly fighting back now. And ba, 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 ba. Dun, 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 dun. So we had the Wi-Fi issue. Shock horror. This. We're not all as old as Ulick though. Actually, I need to watch. I don't know what happened there. It seemed to just stop. It wasn't even. I don't know. It wasn't. It wasn't even the Wi-Fi. It wasn't even a copyright issue. It just stopped. Let me see. Let me take it back a bit. What is that? 125. Typical. So I should be back. Share. So it's more the Wi-Fi that's the trouble, rather than me. Don't blame me. It's not me. What are we on? 125.50. Oh shit. Let me see. Not there. Oh. Oh, what have I done now? Oh man. Let me see. Why is it paused? Right, I need to get a producer. An absolute bugger now. Right at the end as well. Typical, right? Story of my life, that. Right at the end! So close to the finish line. But yeah. So that, I mean, we are basically done. So I think maybe tomorrow, the Friday fix. What it's going to be about, God only knows. There's a lot to cover. So now he's at the stairs. Almost, but no cigars, yeah. Close, but no cigar, right? We pretty much got there. I do need to watch. I think the nudity scene could get me potentially a strike. And because I got a warning before from that movie. Seemingly there wasn't enough context to it. It's like, look, you showed a pair of boobs, but there was no context. Let me see. It's almost at the end. So yeah, tomorrow, the Friday fix. Saturday is going to be all things 9/11. Dun, dun, dun. Which should be good. Well, it will be good. Not because I'm on it, right? Bigging myself up. But because Matthew's going to be on. And he's a great guy. He's over in Canada. And yeah, we'll get down to it. I think it's like be afternoon time for him. But it'll be 9 PM for me. I'll need to double check the time actually with him. But as far as I'm aware, we're good to go. So now they're going to take out the signal. And Frank gets killed. And it's like, no! Why, Frank? Why? Why did she kill Frank? And of course now, at that point, it's like, well, is she one of them? I thought she might have been, but now I think, yeah, that confirms that she is one of them. Albeit she doesn't appear as an alien entity. She's what did someone call it? Carl, I think. A useful idiot.
I'm Claire. Are you? Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't interfere. You can't win.
Don't interfere, you can't win. And he's like, well, that might be the case, but I'm going to interfere anyway. Yeah, it was a bit... I mean, I expected maybe one of them to die, to be fair. But I never seen that coming at the end when I first watched it. I thought, oh, they're all doing it together now as a threesome. And then she shoots Frank in the head and it's like, what the... But then she gets shot. And he's like, right, I'm taking the signal out. Takes it out. And the veil completely collapses, albeit he gets killed. And he's one final message for them. Where you might not see it. He sticks up his middle finger. Like, spin on that. Stick your signal where the sun don't shine. And the veil gets... I'm going to remove it now because I'm going to get a strike for pornography. I got a warning from it before. And I was like, wait a minute, what the hell are they on about? Their issue is... And it was like, that's what they're on about. Then that's it. Hey, what's wrong, baby? Of course, because they're having intercourse. And the lady's a normal person, but the guy's an alien. An alien entity. And the veil's been lifted, and she's like, what the... So she probably left that night. But it's an interesting ending as well because it's not like they've won in the end. They've saved the world. It's more like they've awakened the world. So what happens from there on in is anybody's guess. All out civil war, probably. Alien entities against the normal people. Kind of, I don't know if I'd call it a cliffhanger, but it kind of lets the imagination finish it off, basically. So you can let your imagination run wild with where it goes from there. People will be waking up. It'd be all out chaos. It would be like the UK. So we got there in the end. Wherever the end is. So like I've said, that was basically a watch-along review. Which, I don't know, it could be a new thing, right? Look, we invented it. It's my claim to fame now. It's my claim to fame. It's not a watch-along. It's not a review. It's a watch-along review. We combined two ideas to create our own idea. It's how we roll, right? That's life, but not as we know. He said the name! So tomorrow at 7 p.m, Saturday 9 p.m, sent some, let me check, I don't think I've heard anything yet. I'll double check now in real time while we're still here. Nah, nothing, no word, so I don't know. Sunday is maybe, we'll see. If we are on Sunday, I'll share it in the community, right? So you can find it there. Tomorrow we'll be back to business. Friday fix, news review, breakdown, done previously fought, update. Another claim to fame that I've got. And then Saturday, All Things 9/11, which should be good. Oh, do you know what else I watched as well? Fly Me to the Moon, the film about faking the moon landing. It was quite funny. It was quite good, actually. I did read a couple of reviews and they were saying, oh, it wasn't great, blah, blah, and blah. I thought it was good. I thought it was really, and there was interesting things that got said in the movie, especially in relation to faking the moon landing. Should I give away too much? Probably not. I doubt many people have seen it, to be honest. So I don't want to spoil it. But it's quite a good film. We might do a watch-along review. We could potentially do that. But I think tonight I'm probably gonna watch Twisters. I did quite recently watch the original Twister movie. And from what I can see, the remake, it is basically a remake. And it's like the exact same story. So I'm not expecting much from it. It's like, I've seen it before. It's an updated version. So I'm not expecting much from that. But my beautiful wife, she wanted to watch it. So we might watch that. But if I can get my way, it'll be... I'm on the Police Academy saga. So I watched 1, 2... 3 would be the next one. Is 3 after 2? I think number 3. But I laughed quite a lot at number 2. I forgot how funny it was. So that was pretty good. Yeah. But I might do a review of Fly Me to the Moon. There's a couple of clips that I want to get from it. So I might do that first, put them out, then do a maybe it could be a watch-along review. It's not on YouTube or anything like that. And if I told you where I watched it, I'd have to shoot you. So I can't tell you, right? It's on a need-to-know basis. But put it this way, I never paid for it. So, yeah, a better watch, right? I'll be getting arrested. So I reckon that is basically the end of the show. And yeah, I had to keep the screen there, which people might think, why the fuck? He's in the bloody way. Get him off. Why is he in the way? We can't see the film. There is method behind the madness. And yeah, we work with what we got and we'll take it from there. So we'll jump into the chat and we'll say our goodbyes for tonight. And we'll be back again. God granted. The beautiful Justine. Thank you kindly. And thank you for the continued support. Much appreciated. The new one, my daughter saw it and thought it was good. Is that the Twisters one? Yeah, I mean, when I seen the trailer, I thought, well, it's just like the first one. So, I thought there might have been a wee bit, it's like an updated version of the first one. Oh, Chasing Storms, seen it. So, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't. It's maybe a good idea, I'm not expecting much from it, but I'll check it out. There's quite a lot of films coming out lately that I was wanting to see. What was the other one? It's failing me now. I watched the one Fall Guy. I wasn't that keen on it. I never even finished it. Fly Me to the Moon. Gonna watch Twisters. What was the other one? I think it might have been a horror. I can't remember now. It'll come to me when I'm in my... Oh yeah, that was it. I'll be half asleep. Ulick as well. Thanks for joining tonight, Ulick. Jack Clean, fantastic. Good to see you. Thanks for joining tonight. Jane as well. Always a pleasure to see you. I hope you're doing fine. Anybody that I missed? Jane, Ulick, Jack Clean. B as well. Thank you for engaging. And Carl as well. Great stuff. And anybody else that was here, Norman. I've got a terrible memory. It's terrible. And that's without being on anything that I shouldn't be. Oh, Dangleberries as well. Thanks for joining. Thanks for engaging tonight. So yeah, basically, we'll catch up again tomorrow on the original That's Life But Not As We Know It. And we'll break down the week's deception. And of course the favourite, the unpreviously fought syndrome. Will it be finished? Will it be over? Well, no. Because the deception does not end. It's indefinite. So, as long as the deception's here, the unpreviously fought syndrome will continue. Right? And I guess a lot of the time, well, all of the time actually, if you don't laugh, you'll cry, right? So we'll do what we can. And yeah, we don't give up. And like I said, don't throw away, don't dismiss an avenue to go down, because that could be a mistake. So until we've exhausted every single avenue, every single approach, then yeah, maybe you can dismiss it, but it's got to be tried. We've got to do it. Like I said at the start, you can either sit back, it's totally up to you. But it's going to get to a point where everybody's going to need to make a choice. And you can't, it's not something that you can kind of go in half-heartedly. You're either in or you're out, right? So we'll try and get into that a wee bit more tomorrow. Yeah, I've kind of got to watch what I'm saying, but hey, it'll be, whatever's going to be, will be. No fear whatsoever. And hey, how many times have I said that? No fear. Do what you need to do. Nobody gets in your way. Nobody, man. And like I always say, no matter what, no matter where, do not comply. And that is about it. Bye-bye.
Our masters!
What do these things want, and why are they here?
You still don't get it, do you, boy?
They have recruited the rich and the powerful.
They're running the whole show.
Wake up! They're all about you, all around you.
One love, one heart. Say let's get together, and I will feel alright. Yeah, say one love, oh yeah, one heart. I give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Saying now let's get together, and I'm gonna feel alright. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Let them all pass, so their dirty remarks. Yeah. There is one question I'd really love to ask. Yeah. Is there a place for the hopeless sinner who has hurt some mankind, just to say his unbelieving, singing Lord, one love, yeah, one heart. Let's get together, and I'm gonna feel alright. Hear the children crying, hear the children crying. I give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Come on, say let's get together, and I feel alright. So let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. So When the man comes, there will be no wrongdoing, no. Have pity on those whose chances grow thinner. There ain't no hiding place from the fire of creation. Singing love, one love, one heart. See, let's get together and I'll feel alright, as it was in the beginning. So shall it be in the end. Alright, alright, I'll feel alright. Singing love, one love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Whoa, whoa, whoa. One love, ooh, one heart. I give thanks and prayers to the Lord, and I'm feeling alright. Since oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. City do, da, da, yeah. Oh, whoa, whoa. Feel alright, come on. Jah knows no matter. He knows when to cry and play. And the world is hurting on, even when it seems so dark and blue. Jah knows the best for you.